Hello and welcome to my channel. Here's another design using a few beads from April 2026 bohem style box. I'm going to be using around 60 inches of this wildfire thread and some cylinder seed beads to start off my earring pattern. These beads are from my stash, but choose whatever you want from your own stash. Use the beads that suit your tastes. Just a quick tip, if you're struggling to thread your needle, just flatten the thread with your pliers at the end. I've loaded 4 beads on, bringing them down about a quarter of a way down the thread. Now from the bottom, I'm taking my needle back up the bottom 2, and then just give them a gentle tug so they look something like this. Then to finish this square, thread your needle through the adjacent 2 beads. So to add an extra column, pick up another 2 beads, and I'm going to thread these through the opposite end of the beads the thread is coming out of. And you'll end up with something looking like this. Put your needle back through the 2 you've just added. And this is what it looks like. So now I'm just going to repeat this process until I've got 7 columns in total. Then we'll move on. So I've just added 2 more, and now I'm going to put my needle back down the 2 I've just added. Just tug on it a little bit, it'll just neaten it up. And this is what that looks like. Here's my row of 7 columns completed, and what I'm going to do is flip it over because I like to work from left to right, but you can do it however suits you. Looking from above, you can see thread bridges that join the column of beads. Pick up 2 beads and put your needle under the second thread bridge. Pull your thread through and your beads will look something like this, but don't worry, we'll neaten them up. So if you just feed your needle through this bead and just give it a gentle tug once you've done that. And it should look something like this. And now we're going to put the needle back through the bead on the left of it, just like this. And once you pull the thread through, you're going to go back through this bead again. And this should just tidy up the beads on that row. If it doesn't, just have a fiddle with your fingers and you'll end up with something like this. You only need to load 2 beads on when you're first starting a row and going through the second thread bridge. After that, you just go to the next thread bridge, adding 1 bead at a time. So once you finish that row, we're starting another one, always with 2 beads through the second thread bridge. So I've finished all the rows until I've ended up with just these 2, and I've now got a wire guard to add onto the top, which gives me something to attach it to the ear wire. So go through the first hole of the wire guard, through the second one, and through the next bead. And it'll look like this. Just make sure your thread fits in the ridge at the top of the wire guard. And we're just going to go through it again, the same process, just to reinforce it. So I've been through it twice to reinforce it. Now I'm just going to thread through. It doesn't matter which pattern, which way you do it. Just to finish off this bit of thread, then you can either just snip it off or burn it off if you've got a burner. So now I'm going to work on the tassels. These top beads are from my own stash. I've just got a selection out that I think matches what I've got from the bohem box. And these bottom four are what I've got left from the box. So now I'm going to think about the design I want for my tassels and then load the first row on my needle just to get an idea if I'm happy with what I've got. So this is what I've decided on. I've put one more of the original triangle pattern at the very top, and then I've just put in a selection of the pattern I like. Now to secure it, you're going to ignore the first three tiny beads, the square one and the next three tiny beads, and feed your needle back through all the others and then the bottom two of your existing triangle. And then pull it through gently, just holding that square bead at the bottom, and you'll end up with something looking like this. Make sure it's tight, but don't pull it too tight. Now feed your needle through the two beads at the base of your triangle next to the one you've come out of, because now we're going to do the next tassel. Now on that one, I'm adding three of the top bead and then following the same pattern as before, leaving the three seed beads, the square bead and the three seeds at the bottom. Feed your needle right through up to your base two and pull it through gently, and repeat the process, adding three beads each time. Here we go. Now the center one is slightly different at the bottom. Again, I've added three beads extra on the top, but I've just changed the pattern on the bottom. And lastly, I mirrored the last three tassels to the first three tassels, and this is how it ended up. So now I'm just attaching it to the ear wire. I've chose gunmetal grey, and close it up with your pliers. And here's the two completed. I really like them. I'm glad I had those extra flowers. This design's so adaptable. You can have the tassels longer, you can have more columns in the row to make the earrings wider, add different colours, or add in the stars at the end. The choice is endless, really. I hope this video has inspired you, and if you want to subscribe to the bohemstylebox, I've put the link in the description, and I hope you subscribe to it. And I hope to see you with my next design with some remaining beads from this box. Thank you so much for joining me. If you've enjoyed it, could I ask you to like and subscribe? I really appreciate it. Thanks, and see you next time.